I'm as sick and twisted.
Don't forget to leave a 5-star review on iTunes for my friends at the Amish Inquisition.
have his dick and twist it!
Everything's under control. Situation normal.
Hello, welcome. It's Amish Inquisition time yet again. Woo! Sunday the 29th of
December.
Why's your mic not working?
Oh, mine's not either, is it? Oh, yeah, it is.
My mic working?
There you go, turn it
Mine's
up.
working. You turned the wrong one on.
Put the wrong one up. Sorry about that. Episode 112 on Sunday the 29th of December.
Have you push record?
I pressed record this
Record
week.
work has been pressed.
Praise Jabalon and all the Elohim.
Who?
The Elohim.
Oh,
Old Testament shit, innit?
yeah.
Elohims.
I don't know. Some
An
shit.
old chestnut.
Some shit.
How we doing?
Yeah,
Alright,
fair
we
to middling.
survived Christmas.
Yeah.
I didn't have any alcohol yesterday.
Mm.
Is that a victory?
Yeah, because it's Christmas. It's the Christmas fortnight.
Right.
So, you know.
You normally drink every day, do you?
Every day. Like it's Christmas.
Right.
Or try to, anyway. Because it's the only time of the year that I would drink daily.
As in during the day.
No, yeah. I don't drink during the day. I drink in the evening.
You know, sometimes I have a port in the afternoon.
I do, yeah, at Christmas time.
Does
Yeah,
that not count as day drinking?
yeah, but it's mainly been evening drinking simply because I'm been in charge of 2 children for 2 days in a row.
Oh, why is that?
Well, because the wife is. Well, to be fair, actually, she took them out in the morning for a couple of hours on Saturday, yesterday. But today she went. Yesterday she went out for a meal with her friends all afternoon yesterday,
Right.
and then today she went on a spa day on a thermal adventure.
Oh,
Ooh.
do tell.
I don't know what it means.
Is it Ribby Hall?
Yeah. I think it's a thermal journey, might be referred to.
Thermal journey.
Yeah. And
Is it like what they do with dogs? Help the joints?
I
Aqua
don't-
pleasing or
Here
something?
it is.
I don't know if that's the right analogy,
No.
because you might be calling my wife a dog.
Okay.
Did it
So
involve a Razul mud chamber?
I don't know. She said that she had a meal.
Ras Al Ghul. Ras Al Ghul.
She had some dinner.
She had some dinner there.
Yeah.
Crikey, it's dear, innit?
I don't know. It was part of the deal.
Oh, right.
Look, aqua thermal journey.
Where
Zen
we-
Garden 1, Zen Garden 2,
Wow.
Zen Garden 3, Zen Garden 4.
I'm controlling this.
Meet me on deck 5.
10 forward.
10 forward. Engineering. 10 forward to engineering. What's happening, Gaiden?
When does when does Picard start? Next month?
Soon.
Who cares?
He looks
Oh,
old.
you're not
oh
enjoying
God.
it?
No, I'm not going to watch it.
Oh,
You know, I've been to see Star Wars and you haven't, the latest Star Wars film.
Mm.
And you know, Billy D. Williams is in it.
Mm.
In some of the scenes, I'm pretty sure that he's in a wheelchair
I thought you were going to say stoned.
and he's stoned, and they've had to like wheel him in, and he's just kind of sat there, and he's
Really? Is that because he's
like
physically ill or just old or what?
early to mid 80s, I would
Is
say.
he?
Yeah,
He's older than Harrison Ford then, is he?
yeah. Harrison Ford's late 70s, isn't he? Yeah.
Fuck.
old.
I don't think he's held up as well physically, unfortunately.
Right.
It speaks a bit like that sometimes.
It's not as smooth
No,
as it was.
no, unfortunately
No.
not.
What does he say to Leia when he meets her?
I like the cut of your jib.
I can't remember.
I can smell your twat.
You truly belong up here with us in the clouds.
Oh, that's it. Some snazzy shit like that, wasn't it?
Awful.
Best been on Cloud City.
Best
Did you notice that I fixed your headphones this week?
Well, what's wrong? Oh, they're the right way round.
Have a look.
Are they?
Yeah. What did you do? Did you just move the covers from right to left?
Yep, I've swapped the ear covers over.
Oh, well done.
'Cause
That
it
makes
makes
me
no
feel-
difference.
That makes me
Just
feel
to
a whole
please
lot
you.
better.
And what about
Yours
yours?
conformist. No, I didn't do mine.
Oh, okay. So
Not an idiot.
why did you do ours then?
Just to make it feel more comfortable.
To be honest,
about it. Actually.
Oh dear.
I'd forgotten about it.
Did you mention something about a correction?
A correction from 2 episodes ago, the
Right.
Dan episode.
Okay.
Apparently, elite singles
Mm.
isn't for celebrities; it's just for rich people.
That's what I said.
Yeah, but we said. I think the other one said. I think replacement Ben said for celebrities.
Well,
I
that'll
think
teach you.
elite covers both, no?
Rich and famous.
And probably powerful.
What if you're just an expert in like bull insemination or whatever?
Good luck.
Expert in your field.
Good luck.
Ice counting.
Yeah. Elite in this circumstance, I don't think covers academical eliteness.
Just great at Tetris. Can I join your club? Got a high score on Mario Brothers.
Yeah. Was that it? Was that the only correction
Yeah,
from the
'cause
Dan episode?
everything else was right.
I have a correction from last week.
Is that Ballycastle?
It's the Aldi.
Yeah.
Irish cream liqueur, and there's no
it's
name.
It's the fancy Aldi.
Unbranded.
It's like 50p dearer. Pushing the boat out. Elite.
Elite Irish
Lux-
cream.
Luxurious and decadent, specially selected Irish cream
Ooh.
liqueur. Notes of Irish whiskey with rich, indulgent, fresh dairy cream.
Creamy.
Mrs. Doubtfire.
Hello!
What's going
John
on? We
Inman.
haven't got our usual.
Virginity Doubtfire. Turns into Winnie the Pooh when I do it.
We haven't got our usual 14,000 viewers on
Have we not?
Facebook. What's going on?
Oh.
Bag of wank.
It's because it's Christmas.
You've put the wrong episode title again.
No,
Yeah.
I know every time.
You rubbish.
Well, yeah.
112.
It's 100, it will be 112 when it finishes.
Mm.
Maybe
That
that's
ice
why-
hasn't worked. Why hasn't it made it cold?
Ice has failed me.
It's not cold.
Takes a while.
I think I must have had that bottle lent against the heater or something. Oh well.
Doo-doo.
So, Christmas
It's here.
is gone,
No.
and
I
you
can't-
know we have to keep remembering that half of our eavesdroppers aren't in the UK, but there's a tradition in this country that the Queen delivers a Christmas message
Yeah.
Yes.
every year. 3:00 is it?
Mm.
Yeah.
On Christmas Day, pre-recorded. She does she famously said something about anus horribilis, didn't she? About 30 years ago. She still gets jibed for.
Yes.
Jibed, right?
Yeah. Well, the Christmas, it's about 5 minutes long normally.
Is that all?
Yeah, it's only short. Plus they've got like the national anthem at the beginning and usually they sing a hymn at the end.
Right.
So, because, the millennials have such low attention spans, that they have to put Netflix on 1.5 speed and audiobooks on twice speed and podcasts,
Mm.
I've decided I would do them a favour and condense the Queen's speech for them.
Okay.
Now, she starts with the moon landing because it was the 70th anniversary of the moon landing?
50th.
50th. Yeah, 69.
Oh,
Dudes. Oh, I'm too slow. Can't be bothered. There's always like a theme running through the Christmas speech.
This one's space.
This one was his famous speech. Was one small step for a man, one giant leap for mankind. And so her running theme was baby steps. So I've condensed it. Would you like to hear what I've done?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Oh, you've done something.
As a child, I never imagined that one day a man would walk on the moon, taking a small step for man and a giant leap for mankind, and indeed for womankind. Giant leaps often start with small steps.
Often.
This year we marked another important anniversary, D-Day, reconciliation, sworn enemies, reconciliation, small steps, charities, organizations, peace and unity around the world, freedom, democracy, protecting our environment and our climate, emergency services and armed forces, keeping us and our families safe and secure. Queen Victoria, birth of a child, Bethlehem. Through his teaching, Jesus Christ, small steps, hope, deep-seated divisions, harmony and understanding. Quite bumpy. Small steps, we came upon the midnight clear. Timeless carols, Jesus Christ, divided world, peace and goodwill, friendship and reconciliation. It is often the small steps, not the giant leaps, that bring about the most lasting change. And so I wish you all a very happy Christmas.
That made me feel a bit sick.
Yeah, that's a bit.
It's a super cut.
It made me feel a bit ill. That
I just cut all the fat off it.
Yeah.
Let's get you know the
Baby steps and space.
yeah, and D-Day.
D-Day. That's what I took away from that.
It's all very milk toast in it. She never says anything controversial, does she?
Milk toast.
Milk
It's
toast.
an Americanism, that isn't it?
Is it?
Is
Yeah,
it?
yeah. It just means plain Jane.
Where have you heard that?
On probably Ant-Man or something. The
Milk,
movie.
milk toast.
Milk
Have you never heard this? No.
Milk.
Is it like eggy bread?
Sounds like eggy bread, yeah.
Milk toast.
I got an ISO as well.
Jesus Christ.
That's the Queen saying Jesus Christ.
Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ.
There's two there.
Yeah, I cut two, yeah.
Right, okay.
A and B. Jesus Christ A and
It's an
Jesus Christ B.
inflection. Jesus Christ.
I could probably warm it.
Fenton. Is that this year? No.
Not 10
This
years
decade.
ago.
Look, milk toast, a dish. Mmm.
Mm.
Gross.
Oh, look, people also search for flatbread.
Rusk.
I have some rusks at home.
That is fucking disgusting.
Doesn't look great, does it?
No.
Nakantai. Oh no, someone's jizzed on that toast.
What's the
What
black
the
speckles in it?
Black pepper.
Black pepper in your jizz. Oh, what's going on here?
It's got
Betty
That's
Brosman.
when I was on the phone. We were talking about pin-ups in the 50s.
Well then,
And we posted some of those.
make it up. Make,
Make
it
it
bigger.
big.
Make it big for me.
oh,
Hang on, I want to mate.
Oh, what are you doing?
fail.
What did you
Oh,
want?
it's just clicking. I want to look at 50s pin-ups.
Oh, are you coming in a minute? I'm just going to post some milk toast.
Ah.
Do you want to hear the alternative Christmas speech?
Do they still do that? Channel 4?
They do.
All right. Who was it this year?
It was Burko.
All right.
But I found another alternative Christmas speech. You might be interested to hear.
Who was it?
You didn't really think I was going to miss the opportunity to wish you a Merry Christmas,
Oh,
did you?
fuck me. He's still doing
Pretty good
this.
year, and I'm grateful to have my health back. And in light of that, I've made some changes in my life, and I'd like to invite you to join me. As we walk into 2020, I want to cast my vote for more good in this world. Ah, yes, I know what you're thinking. Can he be serious? I'm dead serious. And it's not that hard, trust me. The next time someone does something you don't like, you can go on the attack, but you can also hold your fire and do the unexpected. You can kill them with kindness.
Creepy.
We're just looking at pictures of 50 pin-ups now, 50s pin-ups.
Look how tiny her waist is.
Mm.
That makes me feel a bit sick as well.
No, I'm sure she has some sort of girdle or
That's what I
corset.
mean.
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
something going on.
Mm. Jesus.
So there you go.
Apparently, what they did is, eventually, if you wear it and it's called a waist trainer, and it reorganizes your
trainer.
internal organs.
Maybe.
Is that just made up?
What, now?
If you can wear it for day after day, day after day, day after day, it does shrink your waist down.
Reorganises your internal organs.
And basically, your intestines and your liver and everything gets squashed up.
Wow.
You don't still have those, though, right?
Yeah.
Did he?
It's a thing. Like the Kardashians advertise it.
Spanx.
They're called waist trainers now rather than corsets.
Waist trainers.
There's not much difference between that and like the foot binding in.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Is it Japan or China? Japan.
I said Japan.
Foot binding.
Yeah.
It's in Japan.
Or
Google it.
cone heading. You know about cone heading?
Yes, they did that in
Tribes.
Africa, don't they?
South
Still?
America?
South America. I thought they did in Africa still.
They might do. They might
Oh
do.
no, the one I'm thinking of is the one around the neck and the one in the
Oh.
lip.
Yeah, there's them.
Mm.
The
China.
cone heading, they strap the baby's head. So
Yeah.
them plates have to fuse together,
Yeah.
don't they? Isn't it like when they're a toddler, maybe?
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
it finally finishes?
Yeah,
Your
yeah.
fovea closes.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
whole.
They strap your head up so you become a cone head. Weird, isn't it?
That's fucked up.
Why?
I don't know.
They're trying to look like the Anunnaki, I think.
Is that the neck rings?
Cone
There's
heading.
There's neck rings.
Neck rings, and there's the thing in the lip.
Yeah, the lip thing.
Lip loops.
Lip loops.
It's just like extreme body modding, isn't it?
Yeah. Piercing mania.
I can't put lip ring because that's just going to bring up lip rings.
Say lip hoop Africa, and that'll bring it up. But yeah.
African lip ring.
African lip ring.
There we
Just-
go.
Lip plates. There you
That's
go.
it.
A lip plug or a
look
lip
at that guy
disc.
there.
More images. More images.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Mm.
That's some serious.
That's
Lippage.
like bigger than a wagon wheel.
Mm.
What the fuck? How did he eat?
But I think they just put it on there and, and kind of tilt their head back.
My baby's just trying to have a drink of milk. Oh. Fuck off.
What? I just don't get
Wow, I
it.
don't know.
It's weird, isn't it?
Well, you can't,
It's bizarre, isn't it, how certain things are deemed, get
it's not weird
created
to
in a
them, is it?
culture. That's what I mean.
How
Um,
that becomes a cultural norm.
Yeah,
Can
or
I ask
why?
just-
Look at these
So there's a
people.
rock.
Have they got
sticks of
their
rock.
lips connected together?
Oh no! Now that's more. This is more freaky than any of these lip disc things.
Why?
Because I don't know. Because he's got all sorts going on.
Oh,
Yeah, that makes me feel a bit sick.
this is a modern.
Oh no!
So there's a guy here with a hole in his cheek.
Oh, why did you click on
my
that?
God, I've
I
clicked
can't
on
un-
something.
I can't.
I think I'm in the dark
no.
web.
Oh god, I didn't want to see that.
There must be a massive risk of infection having
Look
something
at
like that.
that. Ah,
Yeah.
Pinterest. That's nice to say. That is
See inside
fucked
his
up.
nose.
Now, is there something psychologically going wrong there?
Yeah, come on, Matt.
If you do that to yourself to
don't
that
know.
extreme.
I
Why?
don't know.
Oh my god, he's got two fucking carving knives
That
going
looks a
through
bit
his
like
nose.
Mike. Is that Mike from the Hot Pod?
Jesus Christ.
Ow.
Wow, I found a whole new dark place of the
Oh,
internet.
I don't like that.
Extreme body modification.
I don't like that. No.
Paulie Unstoppable is this guy's name.
Stop, Paul.
Someone should stop him.
It's a bit late, I think.
He's got
Does
those
he shave?
things inserted under his skin, hasn't he?
What's the maximum acceptable amount of piercings for a male?
No, I don't think there's a limit, but I just,
Asking your opinion.
I don't get it. I just don't get it. That's
Just
what
a
I mean.
PA.
As a person who has
Prince
no,
Albert.
no
Potato. Oh, that's King Edward. Yeah, going to Pierces and ask for a King Edward.
Oh. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what's going on there. It's a mess, though, isn't it?
Are you going to be listening to Radio 4 Today programme tomorrow?
Why?
Who's guest editor?
Guest interviewer is Greta Thunberg,
Oh.
and she's interviewing Atty, David Attenborough.
Oh. That's going to be a love-in, isn't it? I thought it was
hope
supposed to be
not.
impartial.
There's a bit of an age gap.
Shouldn't they have... shouldn't they have... Shouldn't he have like an opposing view on?
On the BBC?
Oh yeah, sorry. I forget.
What, a climate denier?
They're not allowed to
They're
anymore
not. It's a
now, are they?
protected thing, isn't it?
They used to do it, didn't they? But they don't anymore.
Believing in climate change as a cause of global warming is a protected characteristic, a protected belief
How do you mean?
now. So you're not allowed to say
So-
you're wrong. There's nothing to do with climate change.
With CO2?
With it, yeah. You basically, if you were to, if you were a climate change believer, and I was to say, you dickhead, don't be stupid. It's just, look at these graphs or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Then I could be arrested.
Never.
Mm.
No.
It's a protected characteristic, like sexuality and skin colour.
So what would you be arrested under? Hate speech laws?
I don't know. Yeah, whatever, brand new.
When did this come in?
Fairly recently, they were talking on the radio today about ethical veganism and whether that should be a protected characteristic as well.
How do you mean? Explain.
So there's this guy who was, he complained to his bosses about the pension scheme being, they invested in companies that did animal testing and he didn't like it.
Mm-hmm.
And he sacked him. They sacked him because they're not going to change your entire pension structure and risk the investment of their entire workforce.
Why did they sack him?
Probably not for that, but he's come out saying this is why they've sacked me, and it should be a protected thing because I'm an ethical vegan. I don't wear any wool, which is bizarre. I mean, if you let,
I didn't think wool came under vegan because
well,
it grows back, doesn't it?
well, plus, it if you leave it on, they just get all matted and rank and go off and die anyway because they get too heavy. The fleeces get too heavy.
Well, if you let all the animals go, they're not just going to live forever.
Nah.
They're going to die from starvation or predation. We're doing them a service.
They're going to wander about till they get stuck in a cage next to a chicken coop and get beaten to death by a lawyer.
But when you do think about eating animals, and you draw lines between what you do eat and what you don't eat, it becomes a bit strange. If you
I'll
think
only
about it.
ever eat something with a face.
Exactly, that's what I mean.
They're cultural differentials.
Yeah,
Aren't they? So China, they eat bugs, don't they?
yeah,
Street
dogs,
food.
cats.
French and horses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's what I mean. It's weird, isn't it? That you talk about vegans and they just don't eat it. So in that kind of respect, I kind of understand where they're coming from. Do you know what I mean? Because I wouldn't eat a dog for some reason, but I'm quite happy to eat a cow, a pig, a chicken, some kinds of fish that are not fishy.
I don't eat sprouts, but that doesn't mean that I can't eat carrots and celery.
You're not a fruitarian, though, are you?
No, but if you're saying, well, I don't eat dog, but why should I eat cow? Well, I don't eat sprouts.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with being vegan or choosing that lifestyle.
No,
I
it's
mean,
a
fair
fact.
play to you. But should it be a protected characteristic, ethical veganism, in the same way that sexuality and skin colour is?
No.
I
don't
agree
think
with
so.
you.
I'm not sure there should be any protected characteristics.
Okay. When did the protected characteristics start coming into play? In the last
About 10 years.
10 years?
Mm.
The problem is intersectionality, isn't it?
Sexual what?
Intersectionality.
When you
Right,
begin to
pigeonholing.
differentiate.
Well, what about ginger people? Should they be a protected characteristic? It just goes on and on and on
Send
and
them
on.
to the
Well,
moon.
the other thing as well
What
is
about left-handed people?
what
Fuck 'em.
I find quite interesting about this is my son is his mum is mixed race.
Yeah.
So her mum was black and her dad was white. So she's mixed race. So my son on his birth certificate is put down as mixed race.
Really?
Yeah. So I find it
If
quite
it goes hereditary, then we're all fucking mixed race.
exactly.
Yeah.
Well, it does.
If you go
though,
back far enough.
But this is my point: is it's weird. Basically, I was listening to someone, and she kind of said the way that she sort of viewed her race was defined by how she was viewed by society, essentially. So if someone says you're black,
Yeah, rather than self-identifying.
Yeah, which I found quite interesting. And I also found something that I've not been able. When I was doing my dissertation, I was looking into something around, like experience of being mixed race or something like that. And I was trying to find something like a research paper that was around sort of the point at which you are termed black or Asian or whatever, rather than
Did they get a
white.
swatch out? Stand next to this.
That's what I mean. So it's
ridiculous,
quite
isn't it?
it's quite an interesting thing, and I couldn't find anything.
If your mum's Irish,
Yeah.
are you down as mixed race on?
Well, this is the other
then?
thing about race, isn't it? That's a completely made up differentiation.
Well, if you're not, then you're either saying that race is just to do with skin color, or you're saying that Irish people aren't a race. I don't know which is worse.
I think we have to separate race from culture.
Mm.
You know, it's culture that's important.
But the other thing
Mixed
as well,
culture.
yeah. The other thing is, with the race thing, it's like people differentiate on race between, and that was skin tone essentially. That's my understanding of race, really, and facial features maybe.
Yeah, I'd like to know where it came from, who invented the term. I think it's probably been around for thousands of years, you see. It's a way of othering, isn't it?
Yeah, I think that's the thing, isn't it?
It comes back down to tribal stuff. Like if you're in a tribe and you're all the same, you all look fairly similar.
Is Caucasian then a single race?
Well, they're the big ethnic groups, isn't it? Caucasian, Asian.
IC1, IC2.
Yeah.
Malaysian.
Is there about 5
police
or something?
method.
Don't know.
But yeah, back in the like the tribal days, if you all look the same and then you see someone coming over the hill who looks different, it's that othering, that tribal thing. There's an immediate fear response. Isn't this why they develop things like unconscious bias training?
Yeah.
Because it seems that we do it unconsciously, even if you could be white and married to a black woman, but you still might have an unconscious thing that they can measure. It's weird. It's just one of them things. But when you start trying to change laws to suit different groups, it's just you're on an hiding to nothing. The law should be to protect the individual. It doesn't matter who you are, how clever you are, where you came from. Your rights under the law should be that of an individual. And as soon as you start prioritising different groups based on inalienable differences, I just don't think you're going to get anywhere fast.
I
I
think
think it's counterproductive. In fact, it probably makes things worse.
You think the law should be diluted down then to be only a specific set of laws for individual rights and protections, and then if you want to be in a group, you can be in a group, and that's fine. That's perfectly fine. But you are all protected as individuals.
We're all in groups, whether we like it or not.
Yeah.
Because you're born into some groups, whether it's sexuality or race. You could argue religion, because most kids are indoctrinated from childhood, aren't they, into a religion.
So what laws would go then in a individualistic society?
Any kind of positive discrimination laws, quotas, equal pay legislation, which is big in the news and is going to become more and more part of our lives. It should be based on the individual pay. You shouldn't get a pay rise because you've got a different stuff in your undercarriage, should you? That's ridiculous. It's who's best. You might have. It's to do with experience, how many hours you work, how good you are at negotiating pay rises.
Yeah.
There's all sorts of factors that determine pay. You can't just break it down between men earn more on average.
I wonder where this all started and who started the movement.
And what will happen is, it won't be that. I bet you that women start to earn more. It'll be men start to earn less.
That's what happened with the BBC, wasn't it?
Exactly.
They all started taking pay cuts or moving.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So,
Same with driving insurance.
exactly, that's what I mean, yeah. Where something similar.
It wasn't that. I mean, men got a bit of a saving, but it was women who took the hit.
Started to pay more, didn't they?
It just doesn't work. And things like positive discrimination can breed resentment as well.
Exactly, yeah.
You only got that job because you're gay.
But the other thing as well, in terms of positive, could you say...
What job was it?
Oh no.
Are there any societies that are around the world that have this structure?
Well, the freest country in the world is the United States.
Right. But they still have.
They don't have
protected-
hate speech laws.
Do not.
That's in terms of free speech.
But that's a fundamental freedom, isn't it?
Mm.
Where they're ahead of us. Freedom to harm yourself. You know, you can argue it's a good or a bad thing, but it's a freedom that they have that we don't,
Mm-hmm.
for good or ill. You know, it's definitely, it's got to be the freest country in the world, I think. I think most of the countries in Western Europe are along the lines with us.
Mm.
I mean, didn't France ban the burqa?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, fucking how extreme is that?
Mm.
Mm.
Yeah, I got annoyed with the stick Boris was getting about that during the campaign because he said something.
Letterbox.
Did he compare women in burqas to letterboxes?
Mm-hmm.
I went and read the article, and he's arguing for freedom of expression.
Mm-hmm.
That's the whole point of the argument,
Mm-hmm.
of the
People-
article, rather.
People just see the headlines. don't
Yeah,
they?
of course it is. But, you know.
Triggered.
That's something I
he
agree
knew
with him
that-
on, you know.
He knew what he was doing by using that sort of explanation.
Inflammatory.
Well, yeah, because he knew at that point, had he not just been sacked as foreign secretary, or was it before he got appointed to the cabinet?
I think it's about 2 years ago.
So before,
I think it was when he was out in the cold.
exactly.
under
So he
Theresa
did that,
May.
didn't he, to obviously keep his
Public
notoriety.
profile up.
Yeah,
Mm.
and he knew that would get him some press elsewhere.
Yeah, because I might be wrong, but I don't remember him getting a lot of bad press when he was London Mayor.
No.
No,
It's
just
like he toned it down because he had an actual meaningful job to do.
Yeah.
that's where he got his buffoon status kind of properly cemented.
he got
Fucking
caught on that.
Olympic.
He got caught with a Union Jack helmet on,
Yeah.
and it was like wrapped round his crotch. This
Game
harness.
for
Well, the other one was when he went to Beijing. Do you not remember when he went to Beijing for the Olympics and got the
Alejandro.
flag?
Oh, he's waving it like a loon, weren't he? And
Yeah.
and
He just couldn't wave a flag.
to be fair, you'll know from scout parades and such, them flags. There is a technique, I would say.
Yeah, there is a technique, but
You
you
need
know,
a leather-
you
a
need
leather thing to
you
go
need
in.
a flag holder
They
as
should-
well, don't you?
They should have given him a learner flag to practice with.
A little.
While normally. Yeah.
Child's flag.
It's all,
think-
it's all in the wrist with one of those.
Also, his appearances on Have I Got News for You
Yeah, but that was
accelerated his
10 years
buffoonery.
ago, wasn't it? And he was
That's what I
playing
mean.
up then, wasn't he? That was when he was sort of segueing from journalist, wasn't it, to wannabe politician. And politician. Was he an MP at that point?
I think he was, yeah.
Because there was something, I think it was from 2002, maybe, on Radio 4, where he'd just tried to win an election in somewhere in Yorkshire.
Right, a
And
by-election or something.
I don't know. And
Right.
maybe part of the general election when Blair was around.
Mm.
And he obviously didn't win it. But they sort of played it because he'd completely changed from then. Whereas they played a clip from Jeremy Corbyn from like 1978,
Yeah.
and he sounded exactly the same then as he does now, essentially.
He he speaks more like a politician now, Corbyn.
He does, yeah. He's been trained. He's been put on a leash,
He's
hasn't
had
he?
some training.
Yeah.
The trick is to not answer any question directly,
His biggest
if
mistake
all possible.
was sticking to his principles in terms of letting the party have a say about the what they wanted to do about Brexit and
At
having
conference.
and having another referendum.
I think that's pretty much ingrained in the way the Labour Party worked. Or did Tony Blair override that
He
sort
did,
of stuff?
didn't he?
Really? I don't know. I can't
Yeah,
remember.
that's what Mandelson did basically when he was first around. But was he a spin doctor or was he the whip?
No, Campbell was the spin doctor.
Yeah. So I think Mandelson was the one who sort of got people in line basically.
He was seen as the
The proto whip.
the puppet master.
Yeah,
Pulling
basically.
the strings behind
Yeah.
the Labour Party, new Labour Party.
Yeah,
So he managed to whip people in line.
I think so. Yeah.
But the thing is that it's party conference, so the membership, I think, gets a say, maybe? Or is it just councillors and whatnot? I don't know.
I think it's membership at conference
Is it? That's like 600,000 people.
Mm.
in a room,
Yeah, imagine that.
baying for blood.
And imagine of those 600,000 people, quite a lot of them would be quite far lefty people, you would think.
Well,
Would
that's the
think.
momentum thing, isn't it?
Mm.
In fact, there was a story came out today. Have you heard about this graffiti?
Oh yeah.
Anti-Semitic graffiti in one of the boroughs of London.
Right.
Been sprayed on Jewish like businesses and things. Synagogue, I think.
Really?
Only a couple of bits, but still it's... And it was linked... Oh, I'll tell you what it was. It was a Star of David and then 9/11.
What does that mean?
The conspiracy angle.
Oh, because everything ends with Jews.
It does with conspiracy theories.
Right.
Everything
Just
ends with the
some
Jews.
whack job, yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, so it's some conspiracy nut who's been spraying anti-Semitic.
Okay, so I wonder how many mosques have had.
Mm.
Probably more, I would say.
Or even churches probably get
Yeah.
more.
Right, graffiti on them.
Yeah.
What, anti-Christian graffiti?
Yeah. Just fancy everything.
Fuck God!
I mean, it's not a race to the bottom though, is it?
No, it's not, but
Why does that get press over other things though?
I think the link was because
Is it because the
Labour
Jews
have
run their media?
Labour have been so... Well, there you go. That's what the guy who wrote the the graffiti would say.
There we go, you see. I've been dragged into a conspiracy theory.
I
Is Rupert Murdoch a Jew?
think so.
Murdoch doesn't sound like a Jewish name. That
No,
sounds Scottish.
I won't say
or
so.
Irish.
You can be a Scottish
Don't
Jew.
Google is Murdoch a Jew. You'll get forwarded to some... I'll have the,
It's not
the
my
hate,
internet.
I'll have the hate speech police knocking on the door. No, I think they were linking... The link they were drawing in the article is that we've had a rash of anti-Semitism in the Labour Party, and some of the hard left is associated with these anti-Semitic conspiracy theories. I think.
No, it's Australian.
God, he's still married to Jerry Hall.
That was fairly recent, wasn't it? They
It's
got married?
2016. He's 88. Fucking hell.
There
I
he
wonder
is.
why. Do you think they actually sort of got together and fell in love, or what? Are
Who
you being
knows?
cynical?
I don't know.
I just can't imagine them.
Just
like,
get in for the last couple of years, get
What?
the prenup, a few million quid.
What do they talk about? It's like a.
How much did you sell Fox to Disney to? How many billions?
He'll have a prenup, won't he?
Yeah, I know, but you should be at least getting a few £1,000,000, would you not think, from it?
Yeah.
From his 20 billion?
Depends how good of a negotiator she is.
Exactly. Or a lawyer's.
Mm.
Jagger. Hall cited Jagger's infidelity as the cause of the breakup in 99. How old was Mick Jagger in 99? Still about
Mid-50s.
still
100.
80.
Mid-50s.
Doesn't say. In 2014, Hall performed at Glastonbury. She wrote music and lyrics to original country and western music. What? Music to music?
What? Is that a mashup?
I think so.
It's like the first dubstep.
Okay. Right,
It's
well,
not
that's a
interesting,
boring Wikipedia page.
Mm.
All I know her from is being married to Mick Jagger.
Yeah, she was a
Yeah,
model,
Pat
wasn't
was-
she?
We're of that generation.
listed as partner.
She's in Batman, isn't she?
Friends.
She gets burnt
The first one.
with acid.
Yeah.
It's his first artwork. And that's it. Acting. 1989 appeared in director Tim Burton's Batman. A 1990 London West End stage debut. Was playing Cherie in a revival of Bus Stop.
Wow. That's seriously boring.
Do you want to talk about the New Year's honours list?
What? And have you found everyone's address?
Oh, all day. All day in the probably 2 sections of 15 minutes that I was listening to it in the car. LBC were banging on about, oh, will Nigel get a knighthood? Will Nigel get a knighthood?
And did he get a knighthood?
Did he fuck?
Is that? Are they thinking that's a payoff for,
I don't know. For
To get him,
what?
to get him to shut up.
Brexiting.
or for standing down his candidates in the Tory seats?
I don't know.
I think
Well,
that was the theory.
This was
'Cause-
all decided by May, though, wasn't it? This year's.
Is it
this
her
current one.
leaving office?
Yeah,
No,
what-
she's already done that.
Has she?
She's already had a leaving office periods. Yeah,
Ugh.
because I'm sure she gave a gong to a previous personal
Yeah,
advisor,
she did. Didn't
special
she?
advisor. It's
Yeah.
all a lot of
spazzes, are they called?
back slap it, yeah,
Spads.
spazzes. If you can still say that.
Spads.
Spads, that's it.
Spads, not spazzes. Some notable New Year's honours this week.
Elton John got something, didn't he? He's already a sir. What's
He
he
got
got
the
now?
biggest thing, like the companion, the golden companion of the
Of the
bedchamber.
the Queen's bedchamber companions.
It's the golden. It's the
Get
golden.
to shag the Queen.
Oh fuck, that's hot.
It's the. It's like the golden company of the Theban army.
That's it.
Mm.
You had an older gay gentleman and a younger gay gentleman, and they were in pairs, fighting pairs, who lived together and loved each other. And that's why the Golden Company was seen as unstoppable on the battlefield.
Because they loved each other.
These gay guys just loved each other. No, it's seriously, they were
well-
like the Theban army's creme de la creme. The creme de la menthe.
Some young guy.
Yeah, the Golden Company. They all got wiped out, I think, by the Persians in one battle. But,
So I know who the old guy is, but who's the young guy?
well, it used to be that guy who David Williams used to take off to it.
What's
Here he
Ainsley
is.
Harriott got?
MBE.
Mhm. Moving on.
Services to Smiling.
Services to Ready
Done
Steady
this.
Cup.
Reg Tremaine.
Jill Scott.
Jill Scott, footballer.
Why the long face?
Gabby
Oh.
Gabby Logan Nee Yorath.
I think Gabby Logan is a underutilized sports broadcaster.
Yeah.
I think she's very good.
What does she do?
She's like the Gary Lineker.
I know, but what does she do now? What's her
Just odds and sods. She does.
football?
Mm.
Does she not do the golf?
I don't know. Was her dad a golfer
I think so. Isn't that the
or a rugby player?
How long
Nadia.
ago did Nadia Hussain win Bake Off?
4 years ago?
Is that
Yeah.
all it takes to get an MBE for services to broadcasting and the culinary arts? 2 books.
The answer is yes, because
Mm.
they had the
Oh yeah. Well,
Oh,
Ben
Obi.
Stokes. Services for fighting, I imagine.
Acquitted.
No, sorry.
he's
sorry,
had
Ben.
he's had a rough year.
Yes.
There's a terrible story came out early in the year about.
Yeah, there was actually.
Yeah.
He did excellently at the World Cup.
He did, didn't he?
Well done. And the Ashes.
Yeah. From New Zealand, though.
Is he?
Yeah. He was born in New Zealand, was he?
June Sarpong, OBE.
What did he get? What did he get?
Companion of Honour for services to music and charity. Now, all right, Elton John's been doing music and charity for 100,000 years.
30 years he's been doing. I think nearly 30 years he set up his AIDS charity, and it's raised something around, I think, a few £100 million.
100 million. Wow.
Few $100 million.
Can't argue with that honour. there.
And he's still cracking on with it.
MBE.
Right, MBE for services to broadcasting and culinary arts. Ainsley Harriott.
Mm-hmm.
It's exactly the same as Nadia Hussain.
No, I think he's time served.
Well,
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
He's been
He's-
around 25 years.
Well, he's
More.
got exactly
More.
the same honour. He's got exactly the same honour. MBE for services to broadcasting and culinary arts.
Yeah.
And he's been around for. I mean, I can't remember any scandals he's been in.
Oh, definitely not. No,
Mm.
clean as a whistle, Ainsley.
Blatantly.
Does
homosexual.
maybe Nadia does some things outside of broadcasting?
Maybe.
Now.
But that's not what she got the honour for.
Is
It
it
was
not?
services to broadcasting and culinary
I
arts.
didn't even know she was on TV.
Services to
Bake Off.
broadcasting and culinary arts.
Culinary
No.
arts. Maybe her baking is that good. It's worthy of an MBE.
Mm.
Well, I mean,
She's done
it's
some
just
stuff
the same
around
as
mental
Ainsley.
health, hasn't she? She
Oh.
did an anxiety thing
Mm.
program on BBC, but that's it.
June
Reg
Sarpong,
Tremaine.
OBE.
We're not letting you do it. We're doing
We're doing it. Look, Roger Taylor.
services to drumming.
Services to music.
Has-
OBE.
has
Office-
Brian May-
Steve McQueen, has he got knighthood? Sorry, go on.
Yeah, knighthood.
See, I think
We're going too fast.
I think Sir Brian. Is it not Sir
Sir
Brian?
Steve.
May?
We're just doing a list.
McSteve.
Steve McQueen. I have no idea who that is.
He's done lots
He's
of
an
films.
artist and film director.
So he's won the Turner Prize,
Right.
and he won Best Director for 12 Years a Slave, I think.
There you go.
And he's actually a very good director, Steve McQueen. And he
Yes.
also does like some arty things as well. He did something recently which looked really good, and it was at the Tate Modern, which is he took portraits of primary school children and then displayed them.
Was
like
it-
hundreds of them?
Was it not a banana nailed
I
to a
heard about
wall?
No, that was
something else, isn't it?
That was tape.
Tate Modern, you said, didn't you?
It was. I think it was at Tate Modern,
Was it?
my one. Or it might have been the portrait gallery, maybe.
What about banana nailed to the wall, though?
I
It
don't.
was taped. Guy
It was
ate
gaffer
it.
taped,
It was
yeah,
gaffer
someone
taped
took
as
it.
well. Sam Mendes,
What's
Sir
he
Sam
direct?
Mendes.
What's he directing, Matt?
James
American
Bond.
Beauty,
Which James Bond?
I did too. He did. I think he did.
Craig ones.
Skyfall.
I think he did Spectre and
GoldenEye.
Skyfall. Yeah.
You not do
James
GoldenEye?
GoldenEye. Did you want that from me?
Una on the top. Sex you to death.
Services to drama. He got
Yeah.
his
All right.
gone
Okay.
for.
Jake Jones.
Jones.
Taekwondo.
Jake Jones is a world champion and double Olympic gold medalist in Taekwondo.
Yeah, I think OBE. That's fine.
I think if you're the best in the world at something,
Mm.
that's probably worthy of a gong.
Ah, this guy got one.
Gary Lightbody.
Gary Lightbody.
He's done a lot of charity work, I believe.
100. How many people get on this fucking list? 100
1,000.
just from new.
No,
1,000?
About 1,000, I think.
Oh my god,
The
that's too
priests.
many. That's too many.
Father Jack. Father Dougal.
Gary
That's
Lightbody.
Gary from Snow Patrol there in the middle.
That's Ghislaine Maxwell sat next to him.
Oh, I think that's his mum. And there's a heartfelt tweet there. I'll not read it.
No.
My favourite
What was
gong of this year.
Mm.
Gok
Yeah.
one.
Gong Kwan.
Kwan. I like Gok.
Bangers.
Got an
Show us your bangers.
Got one got an MBE.
Mm-hmm.
2 services for.
Bangers.
Services to style.
I think he might have been fashion and broadcasting or something.
Yawn.
Is Gok one MBE? I want to know what Gok one's middle name is.
Jeffrey.
Because if it was Inobi, it would be an anagram of Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Oh, I don't think it's an Obi.
Goki Nobi 1 MBE.
Gok
Is it?
Obi-Wan.
Do you know the answer?
No, I don't know what his middle name is. I'd eat my hat if it is. Inobi.
Gok Obi-Wan. MBE.
Might be Ben. Ben Kenobi. Has Ken Ham got one as well?
No.
You probably mash
Can't
him up.
say that.
Why? Not this year. I bet he has. I bet.
He's American,
Is he?
isn't he?
Ken Ham.
No, he's not American.
He is.
No, he's be Japanese, Chinese.
I think he's Chinese, but I think
Yeah.
he's got an American accent, hasn't he?
Yeah, maybe he just, learned English watching Cheers.
His daughter is does TV shows now.
Sir
think.
Elton Hercules John CBE.
Is that Kim?
Kim Hom. Kim Jong Un, you mean? Kim Hom Jong.
No, Ken and Kim. Ken and Kim Hom. No? Is it? What's she called? Kim? What's she called?
I haven't got a fucking clue why you're saying Ken and Kim.
I thought she might be
You're
called
confusing me.
Kim. I thought she might be called Kim.
No.
What's the other one? Is she called Alex Shue or something?
What do you mean the other one?
Goo. Goo. The other Far Eastern celebrity chef.
The one.
What's she called? Rachel Koo?
I don't know.
Do you not know? She's
I remember seeing her.
I find her quite attractive.
Yeah, I think I do know who you're talking about, and she's
Yeah.
attractive.
I think she's normally living in Paris and just buying food off the street and then
Well, like
going on and
dead
making it.
pigeons.
Still on blinded yellow vest protesters.
Yeah,
Still kicking off big time over Christmas period.
I heard. Yeah, I heard
All
it's
the
starting again.
tube tribers are going on strike.
Tube tribers. What are they?
The guys who run the public transport in
Tube
France.
Tribe.
It's come to a fault into Paris. It's come to a
I
false
think
start.
I believe it's the Metro, Phil. It's referred to as the Metro in Paris.
Right. Okay. What do we call it here? Underground.
Underground of the tube.
Tube. Tube's more accurate.
You
It's all
got
about tubes.
Cockquin Wan.
Cowkin Wan.
Cowkin Wan.
That's his name.
Should have done that.
Calkin. So Gok is short for Calkin. Right. Cantonese. So he's Chinese
Yeah.
by heritage.
He always looks good though, doesn't he? Always looks
What do you
good.
mean?
That's his job.
Stylish.
Well,
Well turned out.
His job to look good.
Just
Born
gets
in
it-
Leicester.
It gets it right, doesn't he, for himself? What he should be wearing, what he should be doing with his hair, his glasses.
he's mixed race. He has an English mother and a Chinese father. Still a protected class though, so you're all right. Cool.
Weighed as much as 21
race.
stone.
Wow.
Mixed race, tall, overweight, and gay. Well, he's not overweight.
Is he?
At the time. Oh, hang on. I think this was when he was a young age.
Yeah. During his teenage years, Gok weighed as much as 21 stone. Holy cow.
That's a lot. He took 50 laxatives a day to prevent himself gaining weight.
Jesus.
That's
Pretty extreme.
not healthy. Well, there you go. He's got an MBE.
Is there any other note? Oh, we missed a notable one. Dame.
Dame.
Olivia Neutron Bomb.
How did she get one? Is she English? Or is she part of the Empire?
Born in Cambridge.
Oh, right.
Born in Cambridge, Olivia Neutron Bomb.
Yeah, she's slowly dying of cancer, unfortunately, isn't
Oh,
she?
is she?
She got breast cancer again.
She's a big climate activist.
Right.
Australian.
Yeah. Well, she was born in Cambridge, so maybe
She?
she's a dual citizen.
Mm.
I think her parents were Australian, maybe. She was
Dual.
born over here. Famous for Greece, which I've never seen.
And you never watched Grease?
Nope.
I've watched it, but it used to freak me out for some reason.
Why? Because you were so attractive to John Travolta.
Wow. You got me.
Why did it freak you out?
I don't know. I just remember watching it and thinking, oh, this is a bit weird.
Weird.
Yeah.
How do you mean weird?
They were like singing and dancing and like on a car, like the Hot Rod car song, but then like they're in the middle of a race and
Have
then
you
they
never
go on
seen
a
Chitty
car.
Chitty Bang Bang? It's pretty much the same thing.
Yeah, but you brought out of reality with that, with what's Dick Van Dyke's Cockney
Accent.
accent.
It's that suspension of reality, isn't it?
Mm,
You didn't get when you watched Grease.
exactly, yeah.
You didn't get sucked in.
Didn't get sucked off.
I've never seen it, so I can't comment.
Well, maybe
If
you
it's
need
in it.
to watch up.
The thing is, I hate musicals.
Yeah, you're correct.
So-
But I did go to the West End and see. I saw Wicked at the West End, and I really enjoyed that.
That's the Wizard of Oz musical, is it?
Yeah, the postquel,
Oh, right. Go on then. What's this plot?
otherwise known as the sequel.
Mm.
I think it's a sequel, isn't it?
Grease.
Wicked. It kind of does it not follow on from when
Wizard of Oz.
the Wicked Witch dies? Or
I don't know.
something?
You've seen it.
I can't fucking remember. It's like 10 years ago.
All right.
Interestingly, Olivia Neutron Bomb, her grandfather was instrumental in the development of quantum mechanics.
Part of the neutron bomb.
Well, physics. There's a physics link.
Is he
Nobel Prize winner.
Is he one of these Operation Paperclip guys?
Max Born.
Where the US ferried over all the German.
No, because it
No.
says, look, there.
He fled before World War II.
Oh, right. So he got in early.
Mm.
And her dad was an MI5 officer.
Jewish,
officer
German
on
Jewish.
on the Enigma project.
They all
Holy
were, weren't they?
Cow.
Mm.
That's quite a...
Lineage.
Yeah.
And she got into singing.
Wow.
Tell you who has a wild lineage. Helena Bonham Carter.
Wild.
Yeah.
Why?
She's related to, I think, Asquith was her grandfather, her great-grandfather.
Who's
Herbert
that?
Asquith, Prime Minister
The guy who
during
makes
World
the
War One.
wafers.
No, Asquith.
Isn't that,
You're thinking of Ashworth's pies?
no, the ice cream wafers.
I didn't
Oh,
know there was
okay, alright.
I didn't know there was a
Maybe
well-known
Askies.
brand.
Bloody hell, Ben.
But no, like she's related to like famous military and world of banking. I'm
What-
sure she's related to the Rothschilds
Right.
if you go back far enough. No, it's just-
Raymond Bonham Carter, merchant banker, and served as the alternative British director representing the Bank of England at the IMF.
Right, IMF.
He's a psychotherapist who's 3/4 Jewish background. See, this is what I mean.
What? What does it you mean?
Like about race
Yeah,
and
H.H.
stuff.
Asquith. So her great grandfather, Prime Minister, during the first half of the First World War.
Last Liberal government.
Mm.
Was it after the First World War the Labour movement really took off then?
Yeah. That's a career.
Mm. She's in The Crown.
Yeah, I've not watched it. Is it any good?
I didn't like it at first, but now I quite like it.
Why?
Because it's teaching me things about
enjoyable
things
thing.
I
Oh,
don't know
just as a
about.
history lesson. The
Yeah.
thing is, you don't know how fucking accurate they are.
I think it's quite accurate what they
She was
talk about.
watching something. It's about the
Historical
Knights
drama.
Templar on Netflix.
Mm.
What's it called?
Well, that's probably nonsense, but this is more.
No, but it
not
was
good.
like I walked in halfway through an episode,
He's got, this is wrong.
and I ruined it for her because I
Spoiler.
said, "Is that?" Can't remember the name now. Gosh, is that Clement the Fourth? And she said, "No, it's Bonner, not Bonamassa, Joe Bonamassa. Something I can't remember the name." And it's him. And I went, "Oh right, he's gonna die in a minute," and he died at the end of the episode. But they've got the dates. They've got the dates wrong and stuff. I'll tell you what they did get right. Friday the 13th.
Oh, there you go. That he talks about.
Have I talked about Friday the 13th before?
That's last week, I think,
All right. They got the year wrong,
or maybe in the pub. I don't
I
know.
think, because it was 1307, and the timeline was a bit fucked up. And the way they dealt with the Templars, like they were basically rounded up and burnt at the stake, all of them at the same time. Where in reality, it dragged on for years, like 4 years, wrangling between France and the papacy.
It's like a witch trials, isn't it? Took
Yeah.
forever.
The French arrested him in 1307, and it was like 1311 before it finally got resolved. A lot of them were killed. Whereas they make it just happen like in an instant, you know. It's just editing for TV for
Millennials.
who have to watch it on 1.5 speed.
It's like your Queen's speech.
It is, yeah, tailored for them. I've got some weird ass books for Christmas.
Weird ass books.
Ugh, weird ass
Show us
books.
your ass books. Oh, that one's very orange. That one at the top. It's glowing.
That one's only it's a chapter out of another book by Manly P. Hall.
Oh, yeah.
Manly pee hole.
The
Manly
pineal
pee hole.
gland, the eye of God.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
So it's this thing about it, the pineal gland, which is in the centre of your brain, being like the mythical third eye.
Is this the homunculus?
Probably, yeah.
Right.
I
Is
think
that where the DMT comes from?
it does in mice. I
It's
don't
not
think
much
they
of a
can
chapter,
test.
is it?
I don't think they've been able to test a dying human yet. I don't think it's ethical.
All right.
But in mice, yeah, when they die, the blood is flooded with DMT from the
I'll tell you what, if they
pineal
got rid
gland.
of ethics laws, we'd advance so much in science.
China.
Yeah.
So it's happening. There's probably clones walking about already. They've already met him.
Mm.
Don't give a fuck, do they?
No.
Comes to ethics. Comparatively speaking. Obviously, they're better than the fucking Mongols. But compared to us, they seem to be lagging. Yeah.
Manly
It's
pee hole.
a quick read, that. It's only a few 30 pages, something. It was interesting.
Read it out.
It's made me want to buy the rest of the book.
Is it Manly pee hole?
Manly P. Hall
I thought that was the third eye.
The secret doctrine.
by Madame Blavatsky.
Who's that?
It's a woman,
A woman
a Russian woman.
on this podcast?
A Russian woman
Are
who
you mad?
was a co-founder of the Theosophy Society.
The what society?
Theosophy.
Theosophy.
The Theosophical Party.
Theosophical.
Yeah.
What's
Like,
theosophy?
what's
Something to do with theology.
Yeah, is it
and
like theology and
philosophy.
philosophy or something?
It's down that line.
I'll Google it.
I'm sure I
Phil's
did all it
pre-Googled
today.
it.
So,
Oh, fuck, I'm going to have to Google this.
Theosophy, a cult movement originating in the 19th century with roots that can be traced to ancient Gnosticism and Neoplatism. The term theosophy,
Is Neoplatism, is that something to do with Plato?
yeah, New Plato,
New Plato, yeah.
derived from the Greek theos, God, and Sophia, wisdom, is generally understood to mean divine wisdom. Theosophy means divine wisdom.
So what was Theo god of? What was that?
No,
No,
God,
no.
Greek for God, theos,
Oh, right, okay.
the root of theosophy. Forms of the doctrine were held in antiquity by the Manichaeans, an Iranian dualist
Mannequins? Like on Mannequin, the film.
Manichaeans or Manichaeans, however you pronounce it. And in the Middle Ages by two groups of dualistic heretics, the Bogomils in Bulgaria and the Byzantine Empire, and the Cathari in southern France and Italy. In modern times, theosophical views have been held by the Rosicrucians
Oh, those guys.
Who are they?
and by speculative Freemasons.
Knights
Are they like
Templar.
crustaceans?
The international New Age
Electro
movement
crustaceans.
of the 70s and 80s originated among independent theosophical groups in the United Kingdom. So, and then it goes on about the beliefs, mystical experience, spirituality, intuition, meditation, revelation.
People also search for Scientology.
So it's sort of a belief system, I suppose, theosophy. Anyway, she's one of the founders. And
Helena
The Secret Doctrine by Madame Blavatsky is seen as a seminal work.
Ooh.
Seminal. You say seminal. As far as occult stuff goes. So I thought it'd be interesting.
There is no religion
Why-
higher than truth.
And she's a Nazi.
Is that the motto?
Yeah,
There is no religion higher than truth.
yeah, that's right. And there's a swastika and an Ouroboros.
Now, hang on, that's a wrong swastika,
Yeah,
isn't it?
it's
The
the
original
reli-
Indian.
Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah.
So it's basically we've got here all of the quite a lot of religious symbols. Haven't we? We've got the Star of David,
Mm.
the crucifix thing.
This thing. What's that?
That's
thing?
the Islam thing, isn't it?
No, it's not. It's
It is, isn't it?
Sikh, isn't it? I think.
No, because that's
Buddhism.
in. No, I'm pretty sure that symbol's in
It's
the
not
mosque
Leo.
in Istanbul.
Mm.
That's where I've seen
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, I would say so.
When it the cathedral.
The
was
one
turned
in the
into a
middle,
mosque.
the one in the
That's-
middle is the Egyptian Ankh.
Yeah, an onk. Like an
Onk, onk.
ISIS.
I think it's ANKH or ANHK, and a lot on the hieroglyphs when they're depicting Osiris or
Mhm.
Horus. He's often got in his hand this Ankh, and it looks like a bit like a key.
Right.
It's the key to the Stargate. That's what it is. That's what it is.
What's the snake eating itself? Infinity. Everything.
Yeah, yeah. It's just the all-encompassing.
The circular nature of
Rick and Morty.
things.
So you can tell just by their emblem that it's a heavily symbolic group, and I'm interested in symbology. So I thought I'd try it out. Well, I've nothing to lose. It's an old book, though. It's written in like the 1880s. So you've got that sort of language.
Not a religion. Russian Helena Blavatsky. There she is. Pop pickers. Insisted that it was not a religion.
No. More of a belief system. And a quest. Next book,
Oh, yeah, that's interesting.
Tiny book.
The Book of Five Rings, Miyamoto Musashi.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, there they are. Just before we leave this, that's her and her fella. They found us.
Don't cut your beard.
That is a huge beard.
ZZ Top beard
Tiny glasses.
and tiny glasses.
1888, yeah. So she was quite ill at that point, I think, and I don't think she lived much longer.
So yeah.
Book of Five Rings is one of the most insightful texts on the subtle arts of confrontation and victory to emerge from Asian culture. Written not only for martial artists, but for anyone who wants to apply the timeless principles of this text to their life. The book analyzes the process of struggle and mastery over conflicts that underlies every level of human interaction. How cool does that sound?
Yeah, I can dig that.
The Book of Rings was composed in 1643 by the famed duelist and undefeated samurai Miyamoto Musashi.
Okay.
Once you find the way in one thing, you will see it in everything else.
Right, that's like
It's
when
about
you
personal development.
want to buy a car and you see you think you want like a fucking
An Audi.
yeah, and then you see them all the fucking time. We see them all the time anyway. As a bad example, a Lexus or something. You say, "Oh, I'll get a Lexus." I don't see many of them on the road, and then every fucking day.
Yeah,
So,
I see lots of jazzies now.
there you go.
I thought it was a Yaz.
Yeah.
The only way is...
A Honda Yaz.
Baby,
Letting go of the hilt.
No, the idea is that once you find the way to master something, you'll see that way repeated when you attempt to master other things. I think there's definite truth to that. As far as learning things.
Oh, looks like
What
it's
if
got
they're
looks like it's
diametrically
got
opposed?
small writing
Yes.
and very close together lines in that book. Ooh,
It does.
fills me with dread.
They're not very justified either.
Next book, The New Confessions of an Economic Hitman by John Perkins.
John Pertwee.
Perkins.
Who's John Perkins?
He's a
Doctor Who, I
former economic hitman. So I had the original Confessions of an Economic Hitman, and I must have lent it out or something, and I've lost it.
Oh, the Library of Phil.
But he brought a new one out about 2 years ago with an extra, because I think the first one was written maybe in early 2000, maybe. So with what he's learned since. But yeah, he was an economic hitman for the United States.
What does that mean?
The United States would
Wage economic war.
they'd get one of these dictators,
These are these fucking massive feet here.
Sorry.
and they would say to them, you know, if you want to stay in power, we're going to tell you what about that new infrastructure, that new dam?
Like what
We'll-
China does in Africa now.
Yeah. We'll talk to we'll arrange the money with the IMF. You just make sure that it's US contractors who get all the work. And that's, you know, these cushy deals that they had.
Oh, right, okay.
All these countries in Central and South America, they basically took it over economically. And if the economic hitman failed, they'd send the jackal in to kill him,
Oh, right.
you know, if they failed. And that was his job. So it's an eye-opening book. If no one's read it, it'd be in like my top 10 books you should read.
10 top.
Top 10.
10 top.
Yeah, Memoirs of an Economic Hitman.
Right.
It's brilliant.
Good.
Next one's a bit wacky. The Octopus of Global Control.
Oh, that one looks thick. Let's look how small there's writing in that. I bet it's got small writing as well.
The Octopus of Global Control is for those new to the world of conspiracy theories,
You're
Oh.
not new.
or for people still on the fence about whether or not these events are actually real and connected. Controversial but funny. I don't know. It was recommended me, so I got it. It's not high on my list.
Right.
Okay. Moving on.
Bit heavier now.
Let's get to the end.
The Book of Enoch.
Powell.
No, the Jewish patriarch.
Never heard of him.
Enoch.
No.
Dad of Methuselah.
Heard
Oh,
of-
he must
I've
have
heard
been
of
old
Methuselah.
as shit.
He lived to 365 years old, according to the Old Testament.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah. Pre-Noah.
Pre-Noah.
Yeah, so somewhere between Abraham and Methuselah.
Right.
So an early Jewish patriarch. And they found, you know, the Dead Sea Scrolls
Mm-hmm.
and stuff like that. That's where they find his
Right.
book. It's not canon. It's not in the Old Testament. It's one of these that they've omitted or found recently.
Yeah.
He entered heaven alive, apparently,
Mm.
which is rare. Apparently.
There's lots of weird shit in the, like about the Elohim and stuff and giants, and
It
I
was
think
a
it'll just be
giant.
interesting.
Yeah, I think it will be.
Book of Enoch,
The
and it's got
Book
like a
of
full
Giants.
breakdown, you know, commentary and what have you.
Mm.
Because old shit like that, you need it explained to you, don't you? It's too complicated. If you just try to read the Old Testament and it's like a original translation, you won't make head or tail of it probably.
No.
It's like trying to read Chaucer. It's fucking horrendous. I'm having to do it in English at school. It's like Shakespeare.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, you know, the vocabulary is completely different.
Mm.
Canterbury Tales.
Yeah, that's Chaucer, yeah.
Yeah.
But it's old school English. I don't know what they call it. Another crazy book. The New View Over Atlantis. So that's an old book from, I think, the 70s. But it's about Atlantis, which is a subject I like.
Mm.
So I'll enjoy that.
Good. That's some good books.
Got loads of books down there.
Manly P. Hall. The Secret Teachings of All Ages. So it's linking into the
Is that a fucking pen name?
Manly P. Hall. No, I don't think so.
You must be doing that on purpose.
That's really tiny writing.
Oh, no. You can't read that.
Definitely can.
Oh, that's awful. What was that one about?
Esoteric wisdom, lost knowledge,
All that shit.
all that shit that I like.
All that jizz.
I like all that stuff.
Right.
Find it interesting.
Okay. Is that it?
Might all be rubbish, but it's still interesting. And you learn about history while you're doing it. I'm learning a lot about the Old Testament at the minute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's interesting.
Yeah. Nerd.
Oh, well, yeah, if you like.
Got more
Yeah.
characters than the New Testament, right?
More characters, more.
There's just one chap in the New, right? It's about one guy. There's more stories in the Old Testament.
Oh, I see what you mean. Well, it's more. I would say it's more of a narrative.
What about the letters from the Corinthians?
What about the letters from the Corinthians?
Skip them.
I know. I remember that from church.
They're the appendices, aren't they?
Don't know. Always read them out.
Revelations. That's good.
Thing is, the period of the Old Testament stretches thousands of years.
Mm.
The storyline, doesn't it? Whereas the New Testament focuses on 35 years,
33.
isn't it? 36 when he died.
33.
You're going to tell me he was born in? He was born in December next.
4 BC. 44.
7.
44. Hang on.
7 BC.
Oh, I don't know.
It's 7 BC,
Fine.
and he probably died around 29 AD, 27 AD, something like that.
Being as it's Christmas.
But what's interesting is once they fled for Egypt,
Well, the Jews.
no, Mary and Joseph and the infant.
They went to Egypt. Nobody told me.
Well, Herod did the slaughtering of the innocents,
Yes.
so he knew that this Son of God was about. So he decided to kill all the newborn boys.
Babes.
Boys. So yeah, they fucked off to Egypt,
Right.
and then we don't pick up the story again till he's like 30. We
Mm.
miss all his late childhood, adolescence, and becoming a young man. Just there's a massive hole in the Gospels, which is weird. That's why, like, a book I read recently said he was in Egypt, like studying in the Egyptian mystery schools and getting skilled in
Oratory.
the ancient wisdom.
Oh, right. Okay. And that's how he ascended to God.
Well, that's how he became such a powerful
Mm.
orator, and that it was, part of his education, maybe.
Mm.
No, it's interesting. It's weird that there's that hole in the Gospels, isn't it?
Yeah.
Holy.
There's nothing in the Gospels about
Holy,
him
holy.
playing football in the park at 14. Jumpers, well, I was going to say togas for goalposts, but they didn't.
Probably
really
had a
Smocks.
difficult adolescence.
potato sacks. A difficult adolescence.
Probably, yeah.
I can imagine now fighting with Joseph.
Yeah, he
Mm.
would.
Yeah.
Dad, you shit.
You're not my dad.
yeah.
You're not my real dad.
Yeah. You'd want to skip all that. And
Mm.
yeah.
Do you think-
He had long hair at the start, and I remember. I remember. I've seen pictures of Joseph as an older man, bald and haggard.
Do you reckon in 10 AD, teenagers were like that, like they are now?
Of course they were.
Do you
Randy,
reckon?
horny as shit.
No, I think he had more responsibility. I think adulthood was thrust upon you at an earlier age.
Depending on your level of poverty.
Yeah.
For most people, for 90% of people, that was heavy.
Yes.
Didn't he have a
It's so
shit-
good now.
Yeah.
Suddenly got a shitload of gold, though, from somewhere on his birthday. That probably would have lasted a while.
And yeah, what about frankincense?
That's really expensive.
Yeah.
as
That's
well.
the scent, is it not?
Of God. Of kings.
And what about myrrh?
Mirror.
So
That's a
that's the
scent as
death.
well, isn't it?
Death ritual juice.
Like the oil.
Death juice. Yeah.
What were the three kings called?
Melchior, Balthazar, Eleazar, I don't know.
Castor.
Castor.
God
Castor?
Of, God of sugar.
It was Castor, I think.
Castor.
Yeah. I don't think they're in the New Testament. I think it was added on. It was like Armenian tradition that sort of got bolted on to the nativity story like hundreds of years later.
Cut and paste.
I don't think the three kings are in the New Testament. In fact, I'm sure not.
It's in
They're
the,
not.
in the Epiphany. isn't it?
Wise men is maybe in Mark or Matthew's Gospel. Other than that, they're not mentioned. But it's part of the tradition, isn't it? The nativity scene.
Epiphany, that's when they arrived on the 6th of January.
Yeah, they weren't there on the night, were they?
Uh,
It was months later.
fashionably late. Wise men from the east.
Yeah.
12th night.
Tell you what, I didn't realise the difference between the resurrection and the ascension.
Ascension's where he goes up into heaven.
Yeah. For some reason I had it in my head. It was 3 days, something from the resurrection to the ascension. It's 40 days
Yeah, he fucks off somewhere, doesn't he?
in like a spirit form.
Yeah.
Weird.
The body not disappear.
Yeah,
The body disappears basically, doesn't it? And the boulder moves. Is that not what it is?
That's the resurrection. Yeah, and then the ascension to heaven's like 40 days after.
Yeah, because he goes round and talks to everyone, doesn't he?
Yeah,
Gotta
weird.
catch up.
Jim Mag.
Mm.
didn't have Twitter in those days.
In the Garden of Eden, baby.
Yep.
What?
That. What we said.
You're doing live fact checking.
No, I'm just having a look. In Islam, Jesus was neither crucified nor raised from the dead. According to the Quran, was rather saved by God and raised to heaven. So immediate ascension.
Before he was crucified.
Yeah.
Wow, that's an interesting twitch. Take on it.
Well, it's different, isn't it?
Yeah. It's awkward, isn't it, that the three main religions have the holy place in the same spot in it.
It's awkward, yeah.
Because they all come from Abrahamic background. So Jerusalem is the third holiest place in Islam after Mecca and Medina. He started in Mecca and then he took over Medina and then he made Israel the third holiest.
Just mash them all together and have one Abrahamic religion. Makes sense.
Well, maybe the Jews,
synergy.
The Jews might argue that they are the true Abrahamic religion and that they stuck to it.
So would the Muslims. So would some Christians probably.
The thing is that it's the Temple Mount, isn't it?
There's something about a temple, isn't there?
Dome of the Rock.
Is that where he ascended to God?
That's where Muhammad, I think, ascended.
What about Mecca then? What's Mecca? Because they walk round a thing in Mecca, don't they?
Yeah, there's a stone, isn't there?
So did he not do something there? Did he not ascend to God?
He must have done he did loads there.
Temple Mount, look.
Yep. So it's the site of King Solomon's temple.
Yeah.
For the Jews.
Yeah.
It goes back further than that.
But the Jews, there's like only one section of wall left, isn't there? Is it?
The Wailing Wall, or the Western Wall.
Yeah.
It's the last bit of Herod's temple. Because Solomon's temple was destroyed, and then Herod built the second temple, which didn't last much longer. But that's the only wall that's left. And the thing is, they pray there because the Muslims won't give them access to the Dome of the Rock.
And what's the Dome
That's
of the Rock?
why they should all just get
The
on.
Dome of the Rock is a dome with a rock in it.
Yeah, no, but what's supposed to have happened there?
I think that was Muhammad's ascension to heaven.
Did we say that?
We did.
And I think it's to do with Abraham. I think it's something to do with Abraham as well.
Slow down, Ben.
All right.
Before Christianity.
So, what is Mecca? What happened in the thing that they walked around at Mecca?
Is that in Mecca?
They walked around something in a circle at Mecca.
Yeah, the big cube. What's it called?
The Mecca cube. What happened there? Come on. No, you're not changing the page.
No, I'm not.
The Dome of the Rock is an Islamic shrine. Yada, yada, yada.
Oh, the night journeys. That's it. Muhammad had his night journeys there.
Night journeys.
Is that when he was sleepwalking?
Yeah.
What I'm looking at, Mecca.
Mm.
Bingo hall. That first thing.
Mecca bingo,
all the
Mecca,
things.
Mecca Wikipedia. Also spelled Makkah.
Saudi Arabia.
The birthplace.
It's his birthplace, was it?
Site of the first revelation of the Quran.
Oh.
And a pilgrimage to it known as the Hajj, which we've all heard about. The Hajj is obligatory for all
And
able
it's,
Muslims, right?
It's the 5 pillars, isn't it? Isn't
One
it?
of them.
So there's 5. There's 5. Look, here we are.
Things you gotta do.
Oh no, that's the city.
Moving
The
down.
5 pillars of Islam, isn't there? There's 5 things you've got to go to in your life.
What are they?
Mecca,
Aldi.
Rock, rocking
Is
the
that that
dome,
thing?
Jerusalem.
Is that
Jerusalem Rock.
That's the thing you're on about, isn't it?
Yeah, told you.
Mecca.
Now Google 5 pillars of Islam. and then
Five
GCHQ will be on.
Pillows of Islam.
Yeah.
Key stage 2. It says key stage 2 after it. That's what they're teaching my son at school. That's good. He'll know something I don't know.
PS2, yeah.
Profession of faith, prayer, fasting. Oh, maybe not. There's something else then.
Pilgrimage.
Oh,
It's the fifth
pilgrimage.
pil-
Oh, there we go.
Hajj.
Pilgrimage. 5 pillars.
What does profession of the faith mean?
You got to like practice it, I think.
Profess your faith.
Mm.
It's not the usual way we
You have
use the
to-
word profession, is it?
It's
Think of a professional
it's-
footballer.
It's a set statement normally recited in Arabic, and once you say it, you are a Muslim, so you profess your faith.
There is no God.
It's essential
God.
to utter it to become a
Muhammad
Muslim and to convert to
is a
Islam. Be
messenger
careful.
of God.
Well, you've
I'm Muslim
converted.
now.
Yeah.
Here we look, 5 pillars: declaration of faith, obligatory prayer.
You can divorce
compulsory
someone by
giving.
saying, "I divorce you 3
I'm
times."
talking fasting in the month of Ramadan, pilgrimage to Mecca. I was talking.
Know your place.
I read out the pillars. Look,
So they all have to go to the one place.
compulsory giving. That makes
To
sense
whom?
now.
Sounds like tax to me.
To the religion. Is that a tithe?
No, I think that's to everybody.
Isn't that what Scientology and the other North American one, the Seeing Stone, the Watchtower, Jehovah's Witness,
Mormons.
Mormons, yeah, don't they have a obligatory tithe on the wage? I think they do.
Yeah, it's a tax, 2.5% of an individual's income.
What should go to?
It's not found in the Quran, but in the Hadith, which are these extra bits that they tagged on later
Oh,
on.
dude, you've got to read the extra bits.
Yeah.
All right.
2.5%.
2.5% tax goes to poor people and stuff. So that's all right.
Yeah. There's a lot of stories, isn't there, about like mosques and shit doing things for people.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
mosques, churches, synagogues,
Freemasons.
temples.
Freemasons do a lot for charity.
They run the charities. The stonecutters, you mean? It was on telly the other day.
It's a metric system.
That must be 30,
now.
nearly 30 years old, that episode.
Now, 25, I'd say. It was peak Simpsons.
Yeah. I've not watched it for a decade.
It was so old it wasn't widescreen. Yeah, there's 2 black bars either side of my television.
Hell's bells. That is old.
Mm.
It'll be 2020 when we next reconvene.
It will.
New Year. Any New Year's resolutions?
2020.
Might start doing research for the podcast and inviting people.
I might start getting guests and stuff.
Oh, that was one of my resolutions.
Oh, good. We're gonna have like
One of your
4 guests
revelations
a
on the
week.
rock.
The Dome of the Rock.
Rock revelation.
We've got some hangovers from last year, haven't we? That didn't come. That we need to chase up on.
Yeah. I've got a list on my notes app. of people.
Let's combine some lists.
David Attenborough, Greta
Put a-
Thunberg,
Joe Rogan.
Joe Rogan.
Put a desk calendars together.
Right.
Do you want me to make a podcast calendar we can all access?
Oh yeah, can you do that?
Online.
Yeah. Of course we can.
All right.
Let's do it.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I'm going to finish Han off
Hanoff.
this year.
Oh yeah. About
Most
time.
of my resolutions are more like jobs
Mm.
I have to do. Finish Han off. Han in carbonite.
You're gonna wipe his mouth down.
Yeah.
Sand it.
Build his enclosure.
Mm.
Sort the garage doors out. I want to get rid of garage doors.
Get rid of the
You'd have,
garage
like,
doors.
Open
Like
the-
French doors, yeah.
What do you mean?
French doors instead of a garage door.
Like glass.
Why?
Mm.
Because it's noisy and cold, isn't it, that door?
Wait, when you say French doors, do you mean glass doors?
Yeah.
Like
patio door.
UPVC. You're gonna
Yeah.
pay
Pay?
to get some UPVC doors made.
Yeah. Well, I'll
Well-
probably just use a standard
Won't
size.
people just be able to come in and see all your expensive shit?
You
Yeah,
frost
See
it.
Oh, frost it, right? Okay. All right, yeah.
Well, so you're perfectly fine to do that if
It's
you
a
want.
good job, that.
Yeah.
And then what you're gonna build like a wooden frame around them or something?
Yeah.
Okay.
And clad it, probably.
in
Shit lap. Shit lap. Ship lap.
Shiplap.
Let's clad it, yeah.
Right, okay.
Glad the fuck
Cheap
out.
and easy.
Insulate it.
Yeah. The problem
Yeah.
is the height, because there's an RS chair runs across with nothing, and it's bare. I can't really fix to that, so I might be struggling. I might have to have some smaller doors made.
Are you going to sell your garage door on eBay then?
Yeah, free. Just gonna get it.
And take it out for
Oh, I
me?
could cut it up and give it scrap man.
Mm-hmm.
Actually,
Scrapman came to my house.
Tony.
Yeah.
Right.
He was very nice, actually. And
How
I
did
got
it go?
£109
Wow.
of just useless metal.
Did he bank transfer you?
Yeah.
It's all right.
So I thought I was going to get like 30 quid for it all. I spent an hour under my house cutting out lead pipes and copper pipes. And I feel like that was worth it now.
Yeah. Wish I could earn £100 an hour.
Mm.
Definitely worth it.
Do you see any spiders?
No, they're all dead down there. Everything's dead under the house. It's too damp.
I've had a few houses where I've taken a hammer down with me.
Yeah.
Have you heard scritching and scratching?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Or it's sin carcasses.
There's never
Rats and stuff. Well, there's one under our floor in the kitchen.
Yeah,
It's like the
just-
size of a cat.
yellow mold was
Oh.
on the mud and stuff under there.
Oh,
It was
that's
wet, was it?
It's a deadly one.
Damp, yeah. House is damp. Our house is just damp, yeah.
Did you take a hammer with you?
Did I fuck? This is my bare hands and my teeth. But I was a bit disturbed when I started cutting through some of the pipes and the
Water came out.
the yeah, the
Scrap
carbonite,
this in. We don't need plumbing anymore.
the
We'll get £100 for this.
the carbon
Why
carbonated
does toilet
water.
not work? I've just run out of way in. Go on.
The fizzy water.
It's not fizzy, no. It was just like with all the carbon shit in it, so it's black.
It just leaks out. It's
Like
like
it's sprayed out, so it's still under pressure.
It's like
somehow.
Venom.
Mm.
Spider-Man.
Why are you chopping pipes that were under pressure?
Look, only a little bit under pressure, just from because they were so long, and they're like, I don't know, they must have sagged in the middle or something.
Right.
And there was lead wiring as well. I got out like meters of lead wiring.
Jeez.
That'll
great.
be from like the 1920s or whenever it was
It was
built.
built, yeah.
So how are you going to dry out under your house? Cause, or
So
are you not? Are you just going to put
It's
some
just permanently damp, Ben.
silica gel sachets under there or something?
Just leave it. It's been stood for 100 years, so it's stood for another 100 years.
It's not uncommon for
Uh,
houses to be damp underneath.
Yeah. All
No.
right.
Not when they're raised up like that.
It's not got solid floors, so the only issue is that some of the ends of the joists were mouldy and damp. I think that's because they've had that insulation put in the walls,
Cavity wall insulation.
the rock wall put in, so
All right.
it's clogging up around the. You don't get as much
Yeah.
airflow. So
Rip your carpets up. You get a bit of airflow then.
yeah, I know, but then it just smell even more.
I've been in some fucking hell pits under people's houses.
Mm.
Some of them you're like a couple of inches in water.
Really?
Yeah, and you've got to go in there. And it's mud under. It's just mud underneath. 100-year-old mud underneath.
Well, that's what it is. Mine's just mud. It's just mud, but it's mouldy mud, but it's not got standing water, thankfully.
Some
No standing water.
fucking horrible.
You put some like screed down or something.
Oh, it's like a
Won't
crawl
dry.
space of like 2
Sorry?
feet.
It won't dry out. It's permanently getting wetter again, won't it?
Mm.
Little crap.
What you can do, if you had loads of money, I believe, is you can rip up all of your floors, backfill it with
Concrete.
hardcore, and then concrete. Yeah.
Can they not pipe it in? So you
Oh,
don't have to
probably.
rip up all your floors.
Maybe. Yeah.
Yeah,
Probably
backfill
could.
with concrete.
But yeah. But then you got to think where the house wasn't designed. The foundations weren't designed to
Yeah,
hold back the concrete. I don't know what I'm
Mm.
talking about. So Plus, it's very unlevel under there as well. There's just like piles of soil in corners and things like that, and all kinds of nonsense.
It's like over £100 a metre in it, concrete.
I don't know.
It's dear.
Tarmac.
Just leave it. So I'm just gonna leave it,
Just leave it.
do it up, and then sell it, and buy
Yeah.
and then buy a brand new one.
brand new house,
with a concrete floor.
super thin walls,
Yeah.
tiny rooms.
Yeah.
There's not a lot to be
Good
said
luck.
for new houses.
No, I wouldn't buy a new house.
No.
No, I don't buy one.
Not to live in.
Right, are we going then?
Can do.
Is that it?
10 bells.
10. Thanks for listening, eavesdroppers.
Yeah. Right. I can go
Everything's
home
under
now
control. Situation normal.
and play Destiny.
Yeah,
I might
I've
play
gotta
some
do a bit.
Destiny. Not in work tomorrow.
Oh.
Wow. Yet you work Christmas Eve.
Yeah.
I imagined the carrot was my penis.
Imagine Christmas was my penis.